Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to go from this to this. This combat tech changes everything and is actually much more complex, yet fun to do than I expected. This combat tech will change everything, and what's great about it is that everyone can start using it right at the beginning. Wuthering Waves has a swap mechanic where you're able to swap between characters. This is straightforward enough, but there's a lot of really cool tricks you can do with this. And I've got one question for you. What's the only thing better than giant warships blasting each other? Giant waifu warships blasting each other with today's sponsor, World of Warships. Who would have thunk that World of Warships was so highly cultured that they'd collaborate with Azur Lane? In World of Warships, you'll command a massive naval fleet with history's most iconic war vessels. And the game is constantly providing new content and updates, such as giant ocean bathtub waifus with new Azur Lane commanders, and adorable boat skins. New commanders like Queen Elizabeth, Shimakaze, and my favorite, Agir, all fully voice acted. Watch as they pound each other with giant rockets and missiles in World of Warships. World of Warships boasts incredible naval battle graphics, unique ship classes such as destroyers and aircraft carriers, and both team play and solo play, and it's also available on consoles as well, and mobile and PC. Just use the invite code 6th Wave Azur Lane for a bunch of free stuff, including one Azur Lane crate, Shimakaze Commander, 7 days premium account, 1.5 million credits, and 600 doubloons. Basically a ton of free stuff. Check out World of Warships collaboration with Azur Lane down in the comments below. Huge thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring today's video. We'll be going through 3 swap mechanics: swap, swap cancel, and swap back. So let's get started. Starting with the most basic, swap. Just a swap is a simple, straightforward mechanic where you press the number key associated with each character. Each character, once swapped off, has a 1-second swap cooldown tied to that specific character. There's also a short cooldown between swapping characters. So since you have 3 characters, you are able to swap to the other 2 characters very quickly, but you can't swap back to the first characters because they still have their 1-second swap back time onto the field cooldown. You generally use swaps to bring out the character that you want to use for that situation. A simple but also straightforward thing to use while in combat. Now the next type of swap is the swap cancel. A huge feature about Wuthering Waves that actually changes everything is how you're able to swap mid-attack. This allows for long-lasting attacks to finish coming out before the character is despawned. This is the go-to action for combo enders, like Encore's really long explosion animation.
Leave me alone.
We can see here that Encore is still going through with her explosion even after swapping to Rover in this example. Another great attribute about the swap cancel is that the character that is still left on field but you swapped off of, so in this case Encore, is invincible during this, as otherwise Encore's giant explosion would honestly be nigh unusable because of how hard enemies hit and how vulnerable she is during it. Now of course this tech has many applications with much less obvious things, and since we all have Rover, Rover's enhanced skill is a 2-part attack, where you press E, then you follow it up with a left click. You can swap off Rover after the second part of her enhanced skill has started. And she'll still finish her enhanced skill, as we can see in this clip. This is a simple and straightforward application of the swap cancel tech to save time on the final hit of a combo string. But we can go even further beyond with the swap back tech. Now the previous two are a bit obvious, but this one, well, this changes everything. As most of us are familiar with other games with swap mechanics, when you swap mid-combo, your combo is interrupted. Here with Rover's enhanced skill, we can see that after we swap off Rover slowly and then swap back onto Rover, Rover had already despawned, and then swapping back on respawned her. Then the second part of her enhanced skill won't come out because Rover has interrupted her combo. This is because Rover despawns, she's back in her neutral state, and thus can't continue the second part of her enhanced skill. However, we can actually work around this for some abilities in Wuthering Waves. Check this out.
I sense your weakness.
If you swap fast enough, you're able to swap back to Rover in time before she despawns, to thus continue her enhanced skills combo string and perform the final slash finisher. Yeah, that's right. The implications here are huge, and this means that any combo in the game where a part of the combo lasts for 1 second or longer, you can actually utilize a swap back. Basically, we can weave in any quick action in this 1 second, and then swap back to Rover to finish her combo. In this example, I used Rover's enhanced skill, swapped to GN to use his skill, and then swap back onto Rover in time to finish her combo. This of course makes this 1 second during Rover's skill much more productive, and we can even potentially triple the number of actions that we take. Another example of a swap back compatible ability is Encore skill, where she'll shoot a bunch of times and the final hit requires you to actually press left click. However, we can use the swap back tech to finish Encore skill.
You're wide open.
Let's take this to the next level, the double swap back. Oh man, this game is going to get really sweaty and awesome at the same time. We can see here that we performed Rover's enhanced skill, then Encore skill, then Jian's skill, a swap back to Rover to finish her enhanced skill, and then a swap back to Encore to finish her skill. Yep, this is a double swap back, and I'm pretty sure that triple swap backs can be done with all 3 characters as well. We are basically playing 3 characters at the same time for a couple of seconds. There are of course limitations to the swap back tech, as intro skills will interrupt your combo string. But knowing that this tech even exists and being able to practice it early on will allow for further innovation and exploration of the swap back tech. In particular, this is an incredibly efficient way to generate energy and also just increase productivity and damage during that 1 second window, whereas otherwise Rover is literally just locked into her enhanced skill animation, doing nothing besides waiting to press left click. Now, I still have many questions regarding this tech, such as are certain outro buffs retained during a swap back since our characters didn't despawn? Personally, my guess is no, but I'm not 100% sure about this. And what are all the swap back compatible moves in the game? This is going to be the main lion's share of the work, is to figure out what moves mid-combo string we can actually swap back in time for, and who are the best characters to abuse this, so on and so forth. There are so many questions, and if you discover any interesting ones, be sure to post them down in the comments below. Personally, I think Calcharo has a lot of potential to abuse this tech as well, but time will tell as we explore crazy combat mechanics together in Wuthering Waves, and I'm super excited to see how this develops. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Went to Lose, signing out.